Hello and welcome. My name is Rebecca Gordon. Great to see you all here. I'm going to wait a few minutes till everybody gathers in the room. Today we have a very exciting workshop prepared. The topic is content astrology and how to build a business based on your zodiac sign. But we're actually going to be looking into the year ahead for all zodiac signs in business and how to strategize based on your sun, moon, rising combination too. So there's a whole lot we're going to dive into. I can't wait. We're going to just wait till all of you kind of gather in the room. I'll wait a couple more minutes and then we're going to dive in. So meanwhile, as you're all gathering around, it would be wonderful to know who you all are and maybe a bit about your if you want to write in the chat room, in the chat, your zodiac sign and where you are coming in from. Like, what city are you in? Who are you? Where are you from right now? So your zodiac sign and where are you from? I'm so curious. Okay, we have Leo's from Las Vegas, Sagittarius from San Francisco. I love this alliteration here. It's working. Leo in LA, another one. Virgo in Florence, Italy. A Taurus from Toronto. What is it? This is just too poetic here. We have a Taurus from Brussels. That sounds about right. A Capricorn from Sonoma County. Gemini from Boston. A Pisces from Mexico. Sag from NYC. I'm here in NYC, Soho. I'm a Virgo from New York too. Great. Welcome to all of you across the globe. Virgos from Atlanta, Scorpio from LA, Pisces from Brooklyn. Hello. Okay. A Dallas Scorpio, a Chicago Capricorn, a Santa Cruz Cancer. Love it. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about content astrology, how to build a business based on your zodiac sign. We're also going to be looking at your rising sign and the year ahead for you in business based on your sign. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Jasmine's going to be throwing a link in the chat where you can set up your chart if you don't know your chart. But I recommend doing that after. You don't have to do that now. You can, but there's you can always do that at a later time too. And Jasmine, if you just want to throw a link into my website, you could add that into the chat as well. I see a Taurus from Houston. A Taurus from Pittsburgh. There's a lot of Tauruses in the house today for some reason. Well, I welcome that. Venus is in Taurus, by the way, which is a wonderful thing right now. So all of you Taurians are having a pretty good time right now. It's a good time for beauty, enjoying life. And a Virgo, Aries. A lot of you know your rising signs here too. And thanks, Jasmine, just threw the link in for my website. All right, I think we're about ready to kick off. Hey, Tara is a Gemini from Brooklyn. Okay, love it. I feel like we definitely have the whole zodiac in the room, and I can't wait to dive in with you all. What I do want to know, if you could all throw one more thing in the chat, right? A B, if you are like, this is your first foray in astrology, this is the first astrological event you've ever been to or been to with me. And write an A if you consider yourself an astrology aficionado and you've been doing this forever and you're like pretty well versed in the stars. So I want to see A's and B's in the chat. B for beginner, this is your first time. A if you're like, you've been doing this, astrology aficionado. Great. Welcome everyone. Whatever your level is, it is great to see you all here. So I have a very exciting presentation for you today. We are going to talk about how to build a business based on your zodiac sign, content astrology, and the year ahead, how to strategize based on your sign too. some of the trends coming up. So welcome. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And my name is Rebecca Gordon. As some of you know, astrology has been my full-time career for about 17 years. And in those 17 years, I've been running an astrology school where I teach year-round classes online, as well as host many webinars, workshops throughout the year. I've written this book called Your Body and the Stars, which I highly recommend to anyone who's interested. It's also on my website. If you like health, astrology, and things like that, it really combines your body and the stars. And as well, of course, I also do readings through the week, as well as run the school, write for Harper's Bazaar, and a whole lot of other various publications, as well as do readings at the Four Seasons downtown in New York every other week too. So personally, I find astrology to be incredibly useful because it's a roadmap, and we're born with a roadmap. You all have a map, and it's why not use it? So when I first discovered astrology, it was with the woman on the far left here, who is actually my stepmother. And she is the one that first showed me a chart. And I was about 14 years old. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. Nobody ever told me we had a roadmap in life, and which showed me my challenges, my strengths, my assets, and really how best to navigate this whole journey in Earth School. And I learned from her originally. So I can say she really opened my eyes to this art. And I thought, wait a minute, everybody should have access to this. So later on, fast forward 10 years later, in New York City, I was living like around the corner from Susan Miller, who maybe some of you know, Susan Miller of Astrology Zone. And at that time, I was around 24 years old. I had gone to college and everything for something that was not astrology, because I didn't know astrology could be a career. And at that time, I met Susan Miller, and she was like, Rebecca, I'm going to push you off the cliff. You're an astrologer and you're not owning it. And I was like, really? Is this a career? Is this a job? I had no idea. So at that point, my goal was to democratize astrology and to make it accessible for everyone, because I thought if we all have a roadmap, everybody needs accessibility to their roadmap of life. This should be common knowledge, just like knowing the weather each day. And when I grew up with my stepmother, she would always talk about it as casually as the weather each day, where the moon was, and we would plan our days accordingly. So Susan Miller is the one who really made me realize this could be a career, and I had no idea about that before. So I began at around 24, 25, left my day job and began seeing clients and starting the school soon after. I've studied with various other mentors throughout the years. And now I mentor people, and I teach, a full curriculum of classes, workshops, everything. So that's a little bit about how I got started. And I feel like astrology gives us two things. One is like a deep awareness about who you are and what you came here to do on the planet, your core role in the world. And the second thing is it gives you a bit of a weather forecast. So like, is it raining? Is it snowing? How best to plan your career, anything, understand the trends happening in your love life, and really contextualize life, because life is pretty complicated and sometimes quite harrowing. So it's really wonderful to have a roadmap. And astrology does give us that all. So I'm excited to share that with you. So some of you said, wait, do you all have the screen share? Can you all see the screen or no? Let me just go in the chat. Hold on. Can everyone see the screen share? Yes. Could you see it before? Okay. Everything's working. Yeah. Okay, great. Excellent. Just in the chat there. So there's three main aspects to your character, and I want to talk about them all and what they mean, first of all. And I suggest everybody here get to know these. Okay. The first one is your sun sign. It's pretty much what you came here to do on Earth. It's your core role. And that's like, what's your zodiac sign? The second thing is how you do the job of your sun sign. It's your rising sign. It's like the operating system or the vehicle through which your sun sign runs through. So like, for example, if you're a Pisces with a Gemini rising, so Pisces sun sign, perhaps you're a creative, you're a visionary, you're an artist. How are you going to do the job of Pisces? Through Gemini rising, through writing, through speaking, through communicating. So your creativity would come through words, for example. Okay. Now, probably the most ignored aspect in our Western culture is the moon sign. And I think it's the most important too, because essentially if your moon sign is not fulfilled, you're not going to be happy doing what you like, what you're doing. So your moon sign is what you need, what nourishes you, your emotional comfort zone, what makes you tick. So like if we're talking about our Pisces soul with the Gemini rising, let's say they have a Leo moon. So there's a part of them that needs to be kind of fabulous and express themselves and enjoy fashion and fabulosity, all of that Leonian stuff, to be recognized, to be seen. This is a part of them that really needs to be adored. So I think you have to give equal prominence to the moon sign as you do the sun. That's important. And as far as navigating your life. So everybody's here with me so far? Are we all good? Okay. And I would just say, like, for a little bit of housekeeping here, questions, keep them in the Q&A because there's so much going on in the chat right now. It's hard to keep up. Keep them going in the Q&A though, and I will break at certain times to get to those if you have any questions. So the signs all fall into 4 buckets, and those buckets are fire, earth, air, and water. There's 4 kinds of signs, generally speaking, and those are called your elements. So your elements are the 4 different buckets. Let's explore that. The fire signs are the signs that do very well with live experience, a sense of presence, driving force in life, dynamism, let's go forward, like that creativity and zest, like the match energy. Our earth signs are the implementation people. These are the people that are focused on systems and structures and tasks, completion of the tasks, manifestation. Okay. Our air signs are the idea people, are the strategists, the planning, the conceptualization, the blue sky thinking. That is air. Now, lastly, the water signs are going to be the signs that focus on personal connection, a sense of touch and sensitivity. Counseling professions, you'll see in that a lot. And as you can see here, the 3 fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The 3 earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And the 3 air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So I would like you all to take a minute and see which bucket you fall into and note the qualities that are key for that sun sign. If you happen to know your rising and moon, you're welcome to look at that as well. Okay. So I believe that we are all here to truly live out our genius. And I think that you should focus on what you're good at. That's what astrology can show you. You might excel tremendously in one area and not do so in others. Well, we'll focus on what you're good at. Turn the volume way up on the area that you're strong in. That is usually the best strategy for life. You don't have to do everything. The other areas, let's say if you're all air, you might lack earth. You hire out for the rest. If you're an entrepreneur, the best strategy is to focus on the bucket where you're strong in and to know what the other bucket, like if you don't have air, maybe you need to hire a strategist. If you don't have earth, maybe you need a project manager, you know? If you don't have much fire, maybe you need more of a marketer and PR, publicity. with water, maybe you need sort of more high touch salespeople in your business. So I think it's important to know where you're strong in here and where you might have a lack as well. Okay. So I'd love to take you all through the zodiac signs in business. And I want to talk about the qualities of each sign and also where each sign can fall short. And then we'll dive into the year ahead. Does that sound good to you? Is everybody down for that? Yes? Okay, good. So Aries is our total startup queen, or king, right? Depending. Basically, you have high energy and you can just get about anything done. You're the first. Your role is to be the first. Your role is to get something off the ground. Your role is not to do all the menial, tedious tasks to keep it going, though. And that's where most entrepreneurs fall short. They try to wear all the hats and do all the things. And that's the last thing you should do. You should stick to what you're really good at. So I want to see my Aries getting things off the ground, starting things up, and hiring out for the rest. Okay. Make sure not to rush through things too much, though, because then you will lose sight of important details. And that's what can happen also. So you can see our Aries, you can see where they need to hire out those qualities that keep things the day-to-day going, because Aries will get very bored with that stuff. Okay, let's talk about Taurus. Now, Taurus is quite the opposite. Their greatest strength is the long lead vision, the long-term vision, and steadiness to stay on track no matter what happens. Every day, we got to do this thing. They're money mavens, and you'll need to learn, however, when to change course based on the climate and new innovations. I see there are a lot of Taurians in the group right now listening, and the climate's changing so quickly these days. Your greatest asset is your long-term vision. The Taurus is learning about greater agility and innovations as well. And that will be key to add into your skill set. Now let's talk about you, Gemini. Okay, my Geminis, I know there's a lot of Brooklyn Geminis in the room today. Your greatest asset to any team is your brilliant mind. And ultimately, when it comes to communicating your ideas through speaking or writing, you're incredibly eloquent. And where you can fall short is starting too many projects and not finishing them. So I think this is something that all of our Geminis want to watch out for. I always make sure to have a decent amount of Gemini energy on my team because they are just always just streaming with these new wonderful ideas. Though you might need an earth person to say, reel it in and say, okay, I like that one and let's stick with it. So Geminis, watch out for starting too many things at once. It's important to ground in what will translate. Okay. Let's talk about you, Cancer. Mostly, Cancer, I feel like, is one of the least, how do I say this? Like, people misrepresent Cancer a lot. They think, oh, apple pie, home, cooking, mom. No, Cancer is much more than that, okay? Certain signs, like, get sort of misconstrued, I feel like, on the internet, and Cancer is one of them. But Cancer is very strong with compassion and sensitivity. And ultimately, they're some of the most well-loved managers because they can really sense how all members of the team are doing, and they're incredibly supportive to the growth of each team member. It's a very supportive relationship that they create. They value people first. And I think our Cancerians also need to be sure not to let their emotions rule the decisions of the day. So keep a balance with them. Sometimes take a walk around the block, clear your head, take some space. But what a compassionate manager you are, with true care and high touch into everything you do. Okay. I want to talk about Leo. You are the creative queen, Leo. Who are my Leos in the room? Okay. So our Leos here, you are a strong leader quite naturally because you're ruled by the sun, which is the center of the solar system. You're a regal manager. and you give authority and command with your presence. So this comes innately to you. You know how to light up others and inspire others with a vision because you're like the sun. Make sure, however, that you learn to listen more to others' experiences of you and of the business, so you can also accommodate and acclimate to the needs of others. However, you are a very strong leader and creative. Okay, Virgo. Who are my Virgos? Triple checker of the zodiac. Triple checker, yes. Quality, integrity, detail, editorial skills. I know so many Virgo editors. In fact, who I work with at Harper's, Carrie, she's all Virgo too, just like me. We're total Virgos. And you see a lot of editors in the Virgo, you see a lot of Virgo editors, as well as people that are so focused on the quality of a certain product. Keen eye for detail. It's also important, however, for our Virgos to remember the bigger picture, when to zoom out and see what's really going on, you know, to see the whole forest too. Okay. All right. Who are my Libras here? Libras. So Libras are ruled by Venus, patron of the arts and beauty. So you are great at relationship building, and you do this with grace and charm. Positions that Libras usually attune to might have to do with beauty, fashion, partnership building, PR, things like that. So they are just suave and smooth at relationship building. And I like to see Libras a lot in the front lines of a company. Also, I think where Libras can fall short is sometimes where they want to avoid confrontation and the harder conversations, standing up for themselves and things like that, which ultimately do need to happen in business. And they're needing to learn how to be transparent and say things, even though they could be challenging, you know, it's still important. And what you're going to notice as I'm going through these signs is always the sign after is kind of a reaction to the last sign, you know, so like after Libra, there's Scorpio, right? And it's interesting because Scorpio is like, we're going to get to the truth no matter what, you know? Scorpio is about research, strategy, getting to the bottom of things. They thrive in negotiations, just saying the truth, razor sharp instinct. I'm going to tell you a little secret about Scorpios. I don't think they have to use logic as much as some of the other signs do, because their instinct is so highly developed. And I would say the same for Aries. I think Aries and Scorpio have a gut instinct, a visceral instinct, where they actually don't have to rely on logic in the same way. And I want you to tap into that more if you are a Scorpio or an Aries, okay? There's such an intensity that runs through your veins, and therefore you need to take more breaks from your analytics and socialize with your team. Take a break, take a walking break. Sometimes you have to lighten things up a bit and come back so you don't get too down a hole. Okay, Sagittarians, who are you here? Say hi, say Sagittarius in the chat if you're a Sagittarian. I'd love to know. Great. Welcome, Sag. Okay, Sagittarians thrive in realms where they can see all the different moving pieces together, production, teaching, broadcasting, where you can take an amalgamation of all of this information, bring it together and cast a wide net. And that happens in things like production, teaching, broadcasting, publishing, where you take all this information, you share it across a platform. You know how to make things go viral. You can connect to an audience very well. But the main thing, and I think where Sagittarians can fall short, is that they have to make sure people are ready to absorb where they want to take them. So Sagittarians want to take people on a journey, but you have to remember to build the bridge first. You want to take them all the way here. So how to get there? make sure you build the steps in a consecutive way to take them on that journey. But I see such a large visionary with our Sagittarians. Capricorn. So you're like the top of the mountain here. All right. You really see, like, think about last time you were at the top of the mountain. You can see like the all the city planning, how it works together, the streets and the patterns, and you can see everything. And that's what Capricorns do well at. They see how all the different moving pieces work together. So what you get here is a high level overseeing role, where a lot of Capricorns do that in business. They have a high level overseeing position, and they thrive there, and they create a goal and a way to get to that goal. Okay. However, Capricorns need to make sure to retain your values along the way, every step of the way. Do not compromise your values and go for any means to an end tactics just to get to your goal. But you are masterful at reaching goals. I see that very clearly. Okay. Let's dive into your chart. Aquarius. Aquarius is the innovator and the taste maker of the zodiac. You have a strong sense for what is new, what is next, where the world is headed, and your ability to see beyond the current framework makes you an absolute trendsetter. However, you need to remain with a pulse on the ground, kind of like Sagittarius here, to ensure that the world is ready for your new idea. So you are pushing things out there into the future, absolute innovator here. But this is based on a new idea. You impregnate consciousness with new ideas. This is your role. Okay, Pisces. Right, Pisces in the chat if you're a Pisces. Okay. All right, Pisces is the true visionary and artist, whether it's film, fashion, design, or communications. It's your creativity that wins over the world. You're a magical creatrix, and you need, however, to take the extra time to stay organized and keep on schedule. So Pisces is the realm of the artist, the creator, where there's no sense of time, actually. So your greatest challenge could be the actual schedule. But however, it's a fine line there, because it's important for you to go into the ethers and just go into that realm of design and creation as well. So what I would love to see you all do here is work with this archetype wheel and take the qualities of your sun sign and see how that's going to express through the qualities of the rising sign in the archetype wheel, and see what you need, the qualities of your moon sign, to help you through the day as well. So let me know. I'm very interested to see how that all goes for you. I see in the chat, Basia says, so true. That's absolutely where I'm falling short. Yeah, so this can help you see what our challenges are and where we need to ask for help. And I think as an entrepreneur, this is one of the key things to know is, first of all, to figure out how to fill in the gaps, to address the problems. Like, we know we're really good at this, but where are the challenges? And you want to hire out for those sort of gaping challenges first before anything else, so we can have a healthier ecosystem. So I believe in turning your strengths up. If you have a lot of fire, you want to turn that quality up. You show up and you pop. You're there. You're present. You inspiration. You ignite that match. Earth, you're a builder. You create an empire. You create a building. You create a whole system, structure. Turn that up. If you're an air, you're a genius thinker. You're a big picture thinker. Strategy, perceptual awareness. Turn that up. If you have a lot of water, you're great with people, connecting deeply, making people feel seen and heard. And that is so important, no matter what you do, to make sure the other person feels seen and heard. So turn up your strengths and hire out for your weaknesses. That is the general rule here. Okay. There's also this thing called modes in astrology, which are ways of being. Like the cardinal signs here are the lighting the match signs. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Our fixed signs are the ones that keep things going. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. And our mutable signs are the ones that excel in change and in environments where there's always change, where there's Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. I'll take a little break for questions now before we dive into the year ahead for each sign. How are you all doing? Let's have a little question break. I'm going to open up the Q&A and see what lives there and how you all are doing with this. So what would nourish a Capricorn would be security and to be in a career that makes you feel really good, a great schedule, a wonderful routine, and security around your position is so important. You need to feel safe there and you need to feel seen there. What if my rising sign is Taurus? How would I express that with a Pisces sign and Scorpio moon? That's a lot to go into right now. I don't know if I can answer all of that together, but we're going to touch on it. Could you be a Virgo and be a startup founder and not a worker helper? Of course, those are general roles. Like I'm a Virgo, I'm a startup founder actually. And, but you have to know your skill is in the implementation, making things happen, the manifestation part. Virgo likes to work. You know, you want to be of service too. Yes. Okay. Can you be a Leo Virgo cusp and have traits of both? Yeah, but you're probably one more so than the other. Yes, you can be both though, for sure. Any advice for those with triple fire? Wow. You have a ton of energy. You need a lot of physical activity in your life if you have triple fire. Fire, sun, moon, rising. It depends on the elements you have. But I do not want to see you sitting in front of a computer all day. If you have all that fire, you do need to be showing up in the world in other ways, and you need a very active lifestyle. You're dynamic. You get people excited, inspired. It's very important you have a lot of activity in your life too. How do you know your rising and moon sign? Jasmine is putting a link into the chat where you can find those things, and you can hover over parts of the chart to find those. Leslie says, what means if my sun is Scorpio? It means you are here to take a pilgrimage to the bottom of the ocean and explore the depths of your being, get to the bottom of anything. Excavator, strategist. What would nourish a Libra? You need aesthetics in your surroundings. You mean a Libra moon? I see a Libra is feeling imposter syndrome, like you're in the wrong field. Well, the biggest challenge that Libras have is they can look too much at what everyone else is doing. And you're really needing to focus more on yourself, actually. So it's really important that you just start to get more interested in yourself versus any or everybody else and what the rest of the world is doing. If you want to be interesting, get interested in yourself and really take an interest in that. And then you won't have as much imposter, but you know what I mean? Establish a third person, a part of you that's looking at yourself, finding interest in the self. That's key. Now, as far as you being in the wrong field, I don't know. We can talk about that later. I don't know what your chart looks like. I don't know what field you're in. I mean, I do personally, I focus in the business side of astrology quite a lot. And I work with startup founders all the time. I look at the team dynamics of a company astrologically, and I see what they're lacking in and what they need to hire out. I also help companies choose launch dates, like the best date for the optimal results that company would want. Jennifer asked if we should hire by zodiac sign. Well, I would say no, by the whole chart, by the ecosystem of the chart. So yeah, but if you show me your whole team, and I can see where you're lacking for sure and what's necessary. Can a Virgo founder truly be personal, family, and career balance? Yeah, of course. Anybody can find balance. There's just adjustments to make. We can talk about that. How would a Scorpio rising look like expressing themselves in the workplace? Scorpio rising, I don't think you want to be in the front lines all the time. You need your privacy. You need space alone to like go into your research holes and in your area. Scorpio rising is really good at collecting those gems, really useful information, those things that are deep under the ground that nobody can access. What that looks like in the workplace, you do not need to be out there all the time. Honor yourself, honor your time alone. Water signs need time to recharge because water is the most porous element and you soak up everything. Water signs, give yourself that time. What if I have a moon sign? What if I have a moon and sun that don't get along, like a Cap sun and Aries moon? They can get along. You're a mover and shaker, Kristen. You make it happen. They're double cardinal. Startup and goal-oriented, they get along quite well. You will be incredibly effective and productive in the world. Teja says, how can I balance my earth energy? I have lots of that and only a bit of air. We'd have to look at your whole chart, Teja. If you have a lot of earth, you probably need to take more breaks and create more time for planning, big picture, instead of just doing the tasks. All right. What areas should an Aries hire out? Great question. It depends on the rest of your chart, so I'd have to see it all. But I can already tell you some of those menial, tedious tasks as an Aries, I'm sure you're not going to want to do, and they will get skipped. All right. How does Taurus rising express themselves best? Okay, so I'm not able to get to all of those questions now, but I want to dive into the year ahead. And Jasmine's going to put my link into the chat right now again. You can reach me at RebeccaGordonAstrology.com for more detailed questions. We have another free webinar we're doing Sunday, tomorrow, on my website. If you're on the list, you can pop into that too. So I want to dive into some of the trends now for all the signs. Launch dates. Yes, I do focus on launch dates. That's what I mostly do is I help companies choose launch dates and I work with the whole team as a whole. We do all kinds of team building events in that capacity. However, I'm looking at how much time we have left and I really want to dive into the year ahead for each one of you, each one of your zodiac signs, and show you where you can best focus to thrive. Okay, everybody's down for that now? Let's talk about you, Aries. Aries, this is your chart for the year ahead. What I'm going to see for you, you're great. All of the things this year for you are coming through the realm of collaboration and vision. You're needing to collaborate a lot more with others this year. That will be your road to success. Work with others more. Do not stay in a silo. Everything is about collaboration. Dusting that idea off the shelf and asking others to help you with it. Taurus. Oh, wow. If you're a Taurus, this is your big career year with Jupiter and Saturn at the very top of your chart. This is huge. Taurus, you're being asked to take a risk and to throw it out of the park. This is Jupiter and Saturn at the highest point, the pinnacle of your public life. You have an opportunity right now to step up, not a lateral move, step up. And I suggest you take this opportunity. It is going to feel like a risk. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's going to be so good for you. Okay. Gemini. Geminis will excel this year the most in the areas of publishing, broadcasting, media. Perhaps you're writing a book, you're starting a vlog or a podcast or something, but this is like where I see you casting the wide net is in the area of media as well, Gemini. Also, Gemini, your relationships are changing. You're changing the way you express yourself in the world and your relationships. And that's pretty key. Okay, Cancers. This is a money year for you, Cancer. Not just money that you earn, but you're learning how to think about money differently. I mean, when I see Jupiter and Saturn in your 8th house, you're thinking about investments. Maybe you're investing in blockchain more, in Bitcoin and the like, or you're investing in as far as having more equity in a business, your company, somebody else's company, you're investing. This is a year to think about investing where you want to grow. So really invest your energy and your money in areas that you actually really care about. I also see you getting great returns this year on investments. So instead of just dealing with the day-to-day, I want you to step back for a second and consider how you're investing your energy and your money and make some adjustments there so they reflect your values. That will be key for you. We're also seeing a lot of changes for you in the health, mind, body sphere this year. You're really transforming your relationship to your mind and body as well, Cancer. It's a big year for you. Okay, Leo. Leo, if you're looking for a business partner or marriage partner, I think, or any kind of partnership, this is a big partnership year for you, Leo. Like if you think you need a co-founder or somebody to work with, this is a great year to team up with somebody else. So I see you thriving in the area of partnerships. Also, you're going to do quite well in collaborations too. Okay. Let's talk about you, Virgo. Jupiter and Saturn are in your 6th house of work and health and routines. This is the year to get your physical body and routine in top-notch shape. That's where it's mostly at. You're going to need to focus on things like how much sleep you get, what you're eating. Maybe you find out you're allergic to this or that. You want to take that out of your diet and you change your exercise pattern. And I'm saying this all because life is about to change a lot for you, and you will need to reorganize your lifestyle in order to encompass how like the up leveling that will happen. So it's very important you focus on your body and routines right now and get that into great shape. Okay. And we also see after June eclipse, there will be a big change in your career with June eclipses. Yeah. Okay, Libras. Libras. Well, it is actually a year where the focus is on creativity for you, Libra. I see a ton of creativity opening up, and also love, like the idea of true love in your life. There's a high chance of fertility this year as well as love, but I think you're just throwing yourself into a creative project. I would highly recommend that. You need to get your creative juices flowing again. That area looks phenomenal for you. We're going to see with the June eclipse of 2021, what's lighting up is your zone of publishing, broadcasting as well. Okay, Scorpios. Scorpio, for you, we see a lot of energy in the home sector of your chart, the base of the chart, which means the foundations of your life. So there could be a couple of things going on here. One could be that you're moving, you're changing locations, and that's an important move. You could be like, I feel like there's a sense of strengthening the foundations of your business, the bedrock everything is built upon this year. Maybe if you have a brick and mortar location, moving it or stopping it or whatever you're doing, but there is a with it, but there's a focus on the foundations of things, your home, your family, who is on your team, the actual bedrock. Strengthening that more than anything else. We're going to see a big a shift in the financials in May and June for you too, with those eclipses. A new opening there, a new possibility awakens. An investment to make perhaps in June. Okay, Sagittarius. Hello, Sag. All right. So our Sagittarians, first of all, what we're seeing is Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, your third house. So this is like, I was just talking to a Sag this morning who's launching an app right now. Third house is about learning new skills, new ways to communicate, like app development, content creation, writing, speaking, skills like this is your focus on the year. You're learning new skills. This is your year to cultivate these new skills that you are learning and express them. I see you writing a lot this year, whether you're writing code, you're writing for a blog, you're writing, or you're writing this app. I mean, you're busy creating content, and that area will shine for you. Maybe you're writing a book. I see a partnership is really shifting around a lot in the late May, June time too. It could be a business relationship, or a partnership relationship needs to be renegotiated then. Okay, Capricorns, unicorns, Capricorns, hello. What we're going to see is you have Jupiter and Saturn in your second house, and that's the area of money, increase in income. All right, Capricorn, I know you are naturally so goal-oriented, but this is an interesting year because it's saying, yeah, not just about the goal, but focus on your assets and your skills and how to cultivate your skills in new, more rich and interesting ways. And as you do this, you will probably increase your income, raise your rates, and things like that in general. So we see that happening for you too. I'm also going to say one more thing for you, Capricorn. I see there's a whole mind-body shift in the month of June too. May and June is going to be a change in your routine that's necessary. That's where your breakthrough will be. Aquarius, you're the zodiac favorite. Jupiter's in your sign this year. Who are my Aquarians in the room right now? This is for 2021 for the most part. The rest of 2021. Yeah, and some of 2022 as well. So Aquarians, every 29 years, Saturn's in your sign, and that's happening right now. This is a huge year for you. It's a year of planning your future. It's a big year for thinking about the future. You have new opportunities. There's new ways to grow and develop and also commit. I'm excited for you, Aquarius. You're sort of leading the pack right now. I think you need to be strong and clear and think about not only next year, but where do you want to be like 5 years from now, 10 years, 20 years. Think about the bigger picture. You have Saturn in your sign. I don't mean to scare you or anything, Aquarius, but a Saturn return is a big deal. And it's an important time to remember who you are and commit to that. Look, if you don't like your job right now, if you're doing something that feels like it's just dragging you down, this is your time to get out of that quicksand and to commit to what your genius is right now. Okay. When you're in your Saturn return, you make decisions that will last you a lifetime. So be true to yourself right now. This is huge. It's a really big year for you. Okay. I see a surge of creativity in June too. I see there's like more confidence to break out then as well. Okay. Okay, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. What we're going to see for you, Pisces, is Jupiter and Saturn in your 12th house, which is a zone that rules what's unseen in the world. So what I'm seeing for you is the need here to focus more on your own subconscious mind. Like there's the outer world and there's what happens behind the scenes. So your life is pretty much an amalgamation of what you put into the film reel. That is your subconscious mind. What I see you doing this year is something that might not show as all these other things do in the outer world, but it is actually more important. What you're shifting is your inner patterning, is the storylines that live within you that create your world. So Pisces is actually untying the knots, clearing out the basement, like clearing out the old cobwebs and into a healthier mind, healthier emotional space and body to make way for the future. I'm going to tell you a little secret here. The way you see your past is your future. Think about that for a minute. The way you see your past is your future. Not what your past is, but your perceptual awareness of it. So it's very important that you weave a different thread through your life. If you tell your story like a series of misadventures, like, oh, this happened, and then that happened, and then I lost that company, and then I lost that will be the future if that's how you tell your past. I'm not saying to make things up, but I'm saying to see the teacher, to find the teacher woven through each experience. This happened, and that taught me this, and this happened, and that showed me that. And I need you to weave that golden thread through your life, and that will take you to where you need to go. So you're changing your perceptual awareness, and that will change your future. Pisces, this is a huge year for you in letting go of an old path that is no longer relevant and starting something new. And that's all happening in May and June too. Big year for you, Pisces. Yes. I think you're going to do great with it though. Okay. All right. All right. How's everybody doing? We're going to have some Q&A after, but before we dive into the Q&A, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got a lot out of this. I want to give you all a special gift and a free download. So you all will be able to click on this link here and get this beautiful free download called Sync Your Calendar to Cosmos and Transform Your Business. And within that link, you will be able to have a lunar guide for your year ahead that you can use for every day of your business. It'll show you where the moon is, what sign the moon is in, and what you should focus on each day. I use a lunar guide all the time for my business. It is amazing. So you all should totally smash that button there. And I think that maybe Jasmine can throw it in the chat too. You all will get it in this PDF. And I'm offering you a special code, which is CC for Create and Cultivate 2021. And when you use that code, you will get 2 of my bestseller workshops. They're normally valued at $66 together, but if you use that code, you will get both hour-and-a-half workshops for $50 total. One of them is called Astrology for Success, and that's basically about entrepreneurship and astrology, going much deeper into what we touched on today. And the other workshop is called How to Read Your Birth Chart and Discover Your Life Path. And they actually make a wonderful pairing together. So that's why I've paired them together just for you. And you can find those on my website. Again, you could smash the button where it says Bestseller Workshop Bundle. We can throw it in the chat and you can download both for $50. So I want to also get to some of your questions here. But do take me up on those offers because Create and Cultivate was so kind to work with us in this code and give you this wonderful offer. If you're interested in finding out more about me, I'm at RebeccaGordonAstrology.com. You can follow me on the gram at Rebecca Gordon Astrology. Twitter's different. It's at My Path Astrology because of character count. And Facebook, Rebecca Gordon Astrology. So you can all check me out on all the channels. And yeah, again, I love working with entrepreneurs. One of my favorite things to do is work with teams, companies, individuals, and help you strategize your business as a whole, and really show you how to use the cosmic calendars to navigate according to the natural cycles as well. That's one of my greatest passions, because astrology is really about how to be in harmony with everything versus against the current. And you're going to find that life can be graceful and easy when you're working with the cosmic cycles versus against them. So I try to help people get in alignment with the cycles and also to get out of the way of yourself so you can just do what you're really good at and help you hire out for the rest. So that's a lot of what my passion is in astrology. I also, of course, do natal chart readings. I run the school I want to just like open it up for questions now. I think we have about, I don't know, 5 more minutes or so. And I want to get to as many questions as we can. So yeah, this has been so much fun. Thank you for joining me. Great. I'm reading all your comments now. Let's see. Jasmine, we have till 4:30, right? Okay. Let's see. I can probably get to a couple of your questions before we have to close out here. Somebody says, can I use that code for the bundle for a bigger bundle? No, that code is only for this bundle, but the bigger bundles with the 5 classes and 4 classes, you can get those too. There's already a discount on those on the site. Yeah, so we also have, what does the June eclipse mean for my career as a Virgo founder? Well, that is when you just go into a whole new playing field. That June eclipse will take you, it's not a lateral move, it's a major up-level move in June for you, Virgo. It's in your 10th house of career. It's very positive. It's manifestation. Yes, you're doing it in June. And that sets the tone for the whole year ahead from June to June. If you're born at the end of Sagittarius, you're still a Sagittarius, okay? A lot of people are asking about the 5 bundle. Yes, you can get the 5 one if you want. That's on my site too. Okay. How does a Taurus rising express themselves best at work? You do need a consistent environment, not too much change in your environment. Best ways for Leo to thrive? I don't know. You know what? I can say a few things. You do need to feel sort of fabulous if you're a Leo. Like throw on some red lipstick too, or something that makes you feel really good every day. Take time to like fix your hair, have your beauty routine if you're a Leo. I do think Leo does best in realms of leadership and creativity overall. A lot of times they are teachers as well. But take time to really glorify yourself too. People are asking me how much I charge for personal readings and a reading for business. All the prices are on my website. Jasmine is putting that in the chat. You can go to the readings page. I also created a network of astrologers that I've trained, and you can book a reading with one of them too. Gemini, you're a master communicator. You're an ideator. I want to see you impregnating consciousness with ideas in your business. Yes. 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 Okay. So I see somebody with the moon in Scorpio is saying how to deal with all of the emotions. Wow, that is a question I get a lot. Our moon and Scorpios have a lot of emotions, and that can be challenging in business. So it's really important. I think that anybody who has a great deal of Scorpio in their chart or Scorpio moon has methods to process, whether it's somatic techniques or therapy or exercising. You do need things that you do that process your emotions. Really good point, Manuela. What does money talent mean for October, Virgo? There will be an increase then. Okay. All right. I think I got through the questions at exactly 4:30. So, all right. This has been so much fun. You all are amazing. Thank you, Create and Cultivate. I loved presenting and working with you all here. You're incredible. What a great community you all are a part of here at Create and Cultivate. Thanks for listening. Do use the codes that I gave you. You'll have a free download, and the code is CC in caps 2021. All right. You can check me out, RebeccaGordonAstrology.com. Thanks so much. Love you all. Happy Saturday. Bye.